Welcome to Damn Good Movie Memories with your host, Brian Davis. This podcast is the cure for your long commute and super boring workday.
You know what we need? Besides bread, we need a woman who appreciates what we have to offer.
Freddie Shute loves to cut class, hates to do homework, lives for summer vacation.
Look, Freddie, you're a semi-charming guy and a real snappy dresser. You're just not the kind of guy I date anymore.
Yeah? What kind of guy you dating now?
Oh, the kind who wears socks.
And the only reason he hasn't been expelled yet is because he's the gym teacher
Oh, Mr. Shoup,
at Oceanfront High.
congratulations. You've been chosen to teach summer school. No, I'm not a real teacher. That's all right. These aren't real students. They're unmotivated, irresponsible, not too bright. They'll relate to you.
You in this class too?
I'm teaching them.
No way!
Right off the bat, you show them who's in charge. Please take your seats.
Where should we take him?
Who is in charge?
I recommend this time I pass.
You're gonna do well, Jerome. I can feel it.
I've seen some of your students. Very scary.
There's a very valid reason for summer vacation. The human brain needs rest.
I know you guys aren't exactly fired up about English. We're stuck here. We're trapped like rats.
Tension breaker had to be done.
Mark Harmon,
You need an intelligent, sensitive man who can skate.
Kirstie Alley,
Do you know such a guy?
Oh, they're hard to find.
and the Oceanfront High summer school class of 87.
They're as smart as you and me.
You and I.
All of us.
Paramount Pictures presents a new film by Carl Reiner, Summer School.
I love this film. It had passion, a plucky spirit. Dave, I agree with you. Thumbs up from me. Same here. To sum it up, I'm Jansa. I'm Dave. We'll see you at the movies.
Hey there, it's Brian Davis, and for this week's episode, we're going to cover the movie Summer School from 1987. The studio with Paramount Pictures, the release date was July 22nd, 1987. The running time 98 minutes, and it was rated PG-13. I don't have the numbers for the budget, but I do have the box office totals. That was $36 million, making it the 32nd ranked movie of 1987. Roger Ebert at the time, he didn't like this film. He gave it half a star out of 4. Here's his review. In the computer business, they call it vaporware, software that is announced, advertised, and even sold, but that never quite exists. Maybe in the movie business, we could coin the term vapor film for movies that zip right through our brains without hitting any memory molecules. Summer School is a movie like that, a comedy so listless, leisurely, and unspirited that it was an act of will for me to care about it, even while I was watching it. This movie has no particular reason for being, other than to supply enjoyment for people whose job possibilities will not be enhanced by it. Summer School stars Mark Harmon, an actor with some respectable credentials as a high school teacher who gets stuck with summer school. It's obligatory in these movies that you have representatives of the basic types of movie teenagers. We need the creep, the nerd, the jock, the pregnant girl, the sexpot, the shy one, the sleepy one, and so on. One of each is represented in Summer School, and all of them equally forgettable. The movie contains practical jokes, field trips, rebellion, acceptance, evil principles, absent girlfriends, a birth, a scene involving lots of special effects makeup, a display of total teaching ineptitude, and some very mild sex. It doesn't even have the nerve to be vulgar, to be the kind of mass trash that the ads promise. It's a vapor film. You see it, you leave the theater, and then it evaporates, leaving just a slight residue, something like a vaguely unpleasant taste in the memory. And that's the end of Ebert's review. Obviously, I totally disagree with Ebert's review, but keep in mind, when I first saw the film, I was around 10 years old, and I absolutely loved it, and I still do to this day. But Ebert was a 50-year-old man watching hundreds of films a year. This wasn't a movie for him. And seeing how it did pretty well at the box office and the fact that most of my friends saw the film either in the theater or on cable or on video, I'd say that Ebert missed the boat on this one. All right, let's get into the making of the film. So when director Carl Reiner first read the script for Summer School, he was really impressed by how tight and funny it was. The screenwriter, Jeff Franklin, had co-written another very funny 80s teen comedy, 1985's Just One of the Guys. Prior to that film, he wrote for Laverne and Shirley and Bosom Buddies. Franklin would go on to be the creator for the hit TV show Full House. Franklin was actually a high school substitute teacher at one point in his life, and his experiences fueled the comedy in Summer School. Franklin, while writing the film, envisioned Bill Murray as the lead teacher, sort of like what Murray did in his film debut with Meatballs. And if you have ever seen the very short-lived show Square Pegs with Sarah Jessica Parker, guess who played a substitute teacher? That's right, Bill Murray. Today, Mark Harmon is best known for his character Gibbs on the long-running TV series NCIS, but for kids my age, Summer School might be his best-known film role. So the casting of Harmon in the lead major role was the idea of Carl Reiner. Reiner had said, "We originally discussed having a major comedian for the role. However, Mark Harmon impressed me very much in the miniseries The Deliberate Stranger, which came out in 1986, in which he portrayed convicted murderer Ted Bundy. When I saw him being interviewed on a news program, he was so personable and had such a winning smile that it was clear he'd be well suited for the role of our gym coach turned instructor, and he brings surprising depth to the character." Richard Horvitz, who played the nerdy student Alan, recalled there being a friendly rivalry for all the young actors as they really wanted to impress Carl Reiner and tried to get the best lines. But he said they all got along really well and are still friendly to this day. Horvitz said that Mark Harmon was almost like one of the kids, even though he was, of course, the elder statesman. Horvitz tells the story that when they were filming the amusement park scenes during the field trip, Harmon took off in the go-kart before he was supposed to, not listening to any of the instructions. He was having as much fun as anyone. Horvitz said that Kirstie Alley was just as playful as Harmon. At the time, Horvitz best knew her for her debut film role in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, playing Saavik. Alley, of course, would go on to arguably her best-known role playing Rebecca Howe in Cheers, replacing Shelley Long's character Diane Chambers in 1987. The other actress up for the part of Robin Bishop in Summer School was Fran Drescher, and I think the film would have been much different if Drescher got the role. Also, art imitated real life when it came to Robin Thomas, who played the vice principal in Summer School. The young cast would often annoy him by constantly repeating his character's name as one word, like Philgillis. That's certainly one way to stay in character. Now, when it came to Carl Reiner, everyone loved him because he understood comedy. He encouraged and inspired the cast to be funny and loose, and that definitely translated on screen. He also let them improvise, like in the swearing scene when an annoyed Kirstie Alley comes into the class. At this point, Reiner had a string of successful comedies with Steve Martin. For The Jerk, Dead Man Don't Wear Plaid, The Man with Two Brains, and All of Me. He also directed the first Oh God movie with George Burns and John Denver. He also did 1985's Summer Rental with John Candy, which we also covered in episode 186. All right, let's get into the film. So it begins on the last day of a Los Angeles high school, and we get the standard 80s high school montage as the kids clean out their lockers, sign yearbooks, throw away all their paperwork, and turn in their destroyed textbooks. We get a cameo from director Carl Reiner as he counts down the minutes before school ends while scratching off lottery tickets. Also, a school security officer notifies a number of students that they must attend summer school due to their poor grades during the school year. Now, the coolest teacher is Freddie Shoup. That's Mark Harmon. He's a PE teacher. He even lets the class grade itself. He's there for the steady paycheck and the summer vacations. He can't wait to spend the summer with his girlfriend in Hawaii. Now, the least cool person at the school is Vice Principal Phil Gills. That's Robin Thomas, who informs all the students that if they don't pass their English aptitude test, they will not graduate. Now, Phil has to find a willing teacher to teach summer school because Carl Reiner ends up winning the lottery and $50,000 and tells everyone to shove it.
Gills, Kelvin, I did it. Look at this puppy. 50,000 big ones. You know what this means? No summer school.
Wait a minute. You gave me your word.
That was the old word. My new one is money.
A man of your integrity would let a mere 50 grand weaken his commitment to education? I have seen lesser men win millions in the lottery go right back to bussing tables.
They're friggin' morons! Let me out of here!
We then see a hilarious mad dash in the parking lot as Phil tries to convince any teacher to teach summer school. As you guessed, Shoup couldn't get out of the parking lot quickly enough and is the last one standing. Either he teaches summer school or he will never get his tenure.
Mr. Shoup! Oh, Mr. Shoup! Congratulations. You've been chosen to teach summer school.
Ah, shoot. If only I'd known sooner. We're going to Hawaii.
May I remind you, Mr. Shoup, you're up for tenure. You want a job next year?
Oh, come on, Mr. Gills. Look, we got liaison and everything.
You'll be teaching remedial English.
Remedial English? Look, I ain't no English teacher. See? Double negative. No, I hand out basketballs, check for jock straps. I'm like very challenged. Oh, I'm not a real teacher.
That's all right. These aren't real students. They're unmotivated, irresponsible, not too bright. They'll relate to you.
I appreciate that. No, look, the only reason I got into this whole teaching gig in the first place is to get my summers off. No, I'm afraid my answer has to be no. No, thank you?
Bottom line, Mr. Shoup, you need my recommendation for tenure.
This is blackmail.
We call it school spirit.
Shoup's girlfriend Kim has little sympathy for him and goes to Hawaii without him. It's going to be a long summer for Mr. Shoup. Shoup heads to the classroom and meets a fellow summer school teacher, Robin Bishop. That's Kirstie Alley.
Very cute.
Thanks. So are you. Oh, you met, I'm so embarrassed. But you are cute.
I'm all right. I'm Robin Bishop. I teach American history next door.
Hi. Freddie Shoup, remedial English, right here. Everybody just calls me Shoup.
Okay. Shoup. Why am I here? Oh, thumbtacks. Could I borrow some?
Sure. You know, I was just gonna get my summer bulletin board going here. Jackpot. Whole box. Here you go, my treat.
Well, what about your bulletin board?
Oh, yeah, give me one.
Remedial English, huh? I got it easy. I have honor students. They're here voluntarily. Can you believe it?
No.
I've seen some of your students. Very scary. You must be a good teacher.
Shucks, Robin. I don't know. Heck, inside every so-called bad kid is a good kid just waiting for someone to reach on down through the sleaze and the slime, pick him up and hose him off. I mean, who knows? If we fail with even one shot, we might be losing the next Ted Koppel. We're the unsung heroes. We're doing God's work, and I notice you're not wearing a wedding ring.
Yeah, my mother noticed that too.
So you're single? In love? Involved? What's the story here?
The story is that I've been seeing someone, but we just started dating, so you do what you think's right.
Okay.
I better get going.
Well, here, I'll walk you. So you're free to see other people then, huh?
Are you asking me out?
Well, if I was, would you say yes?
Am I?
Well, I might be asking you out. You like Chinese?
I hate it.
Me too. I can't stand it. Want to go out sometime and not eat Chinese?
I might. Why don't we talk about that after school?
I'm in love again.
Well, that went fairly well. Next up is meeting his students for the summer. That doesn't go as well.
Hey, Mr. Shoup, wow. You in this class too?
I'm teaching it.
No way! Party all the time! Party all the time! My girl likes to party all the time!
All right, have a seat. See who the lucky winners are. Larry Kazamayass. Where's Larry?
He's, nocturnal.
Oh. Okay. Try to keep it down.
Francis Grimm.
Don't recall me that. The name is Chainsaw.
I was in Black & Decker.
As in Texas Massacre.
Oh. Yeah, that's in here.
What's in there? They got files.
Pam House.
Says here you lack concentration. Pam? Never mind.
Jerome Watkins.
Computer said I failed that test. The computer made an error. I recommend this time I pass.
You're gonna do well, Jerome. I can feel it. Alan Ekian?
Present, sir.
4 brothers, 2 sisters, all straight A students. What are you doing here?
I assume there was some sort of a baby mix-up at the hospital.
Rhonda Altobello.
Here.
You went from C's to F's. What happened?
Any other questions?
No. Denise Green.
What's that file say about me? Whatever it says, it's a lie. You want to know something about me? Ask me. I'm right here. What you want to know?
Where are my car keys?
How would I know? Was that thing say I'm a thief, too?
Of course, it was Chainsaw, Dean Cameron, and his buddy Dave, Gary Riley, who swipes Shoop's car keys. From the last clip, we meet the nucleus of the class. There's Pam, Courtney Thorne-Smith, whose only focus is the beach and surfing. Larry, played by Ken Oland, who is always asleep in class, but more on that later. Alan, Richard Horvitz, who is your standard 80s nerd. Kevin, played by Patrick Labertreau, who's the football player. Jerome, played by Dwayne Davis, who was actually the son of NFL Hall of Famer Willie Davis. He's a giant and will definitely pass summer school. Rhonda, played by Shawnee Smith, who went from A's to S because she's 8 months pregnant. And lastly, Denise, played by Kelly Jo Minter, who didn't steal the keys. Shoop quickly loses control of the class when he asks them for where his car keys are.
Where are my friggin' car keys?
The dick brain that knows.
If I knew anything, would I be in this butthole class?
Suck my loggerhead.
Damn it!
Jism head.
Jism head. Yeah, good one.
One of my all-time faves.
Psychology. You give a child a license to swear, they lose all interest in it.
I certainly did.
I think you're full of bull.
It's okay, you can say bullshit in here.
I'm grateful. Mr. Shoop, I'm sure you're aware that I'm teaching next door, and this swearing bee is getting a little loud. Do you think you could all concentrate on some obscene gestures for a while? Yes. Yes, that's the idea.
I don't think she likes you.
I want my car keys.
I'm using the lavatory.
Hey.
It's worse than a gas station.
Yeah, I think I have to go too, Mr. Shoop.
Wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. My keys.
Attaboy, Mr. Shoop.
Hey! Hey! Okay. I'm calling roll, and then I'm gonna... Where's my roll sheet?
It's somewhere in this room.
Hey. Sorry about the noise. I'm really a gym teacher. I belong in a classroom.
Apology accepted. See you later.
Let's start all over. Hi, I'm Freddie Shoop.
Look, Freddie, you're a semi-charming guy and a real snappy dresser. You're just not the kind of guy I date anymore.
Yeah? What kind of guy you dating now?
Oh, the kind who wears socks.
I got a pair somewhere. White ones. So, how about dinner? You like Italian? Mexican? Hey, maybe you'd rather cook.
I'm not having dinner with you.
Okay, lunch.
Robin. Excuse me, just a second. Robin, not tonight. The concert starts about 8, so I thought we'd go to the beach and have a picnic, watch the sunset.
Sounds wonderful. Oh, bye-bye, Freddie.
Be darned. You're a heterosexual.
And a damn good one.
Next, we see Denise attempt to pass her driver's test. It starts badly as she almost takes out a bush and misses the driveway completely. Next, we see Chainsaw and Dave at their jobs at a photomat. Remember those? As they look at all the customers' pictures. And Rhonda signs up for Lamaze classes. Next day in class, it starts off the same way with nothing getting accomplished. We also get another student who is from Italy named Anna Maria, played by Fabiana Udenio. She's looking to learn English before the school year starts. Chainsaw and Dave take an immediate liking to her. Shoop decides to forget classroom learning. It's time for a field trip, and not just any field trip.
Anybody want to get out of here? Go to the library?
Let's go.
Let's go.
I am Chainsaw.
Hi, Chainsaw.
Hi, I'm Dave.
Ciao.
Well, we love Italy, yeah. The pizza.
Mussolini.
And Tony Bennett.
The Mafia.
Yeah, Chef Boyardee.
Pinocchio.
Fellatio.
Oh, I don't like that.
Well, have you ever tried it?
Sure. Chef Boyardee, spaghetti in a can. That's so mushy.
Anna Maria?
See?
Have you seen the movie, Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
No. It is good?
Oh, I gotta tell you, I love this film. it had passion and a plucky spirit, and the characters had integrity. Like when Leatherface went on that strict diet of human flesh, he had to cut out chicken and fish completely.
Dave, I agree with you. I'll go a step further. Sure, Leatherface. He wore a mask made out of human skin and he hung people on meat hooks. But hey, we've all got quirks. I've got them. You've got them, Dave. That's what makes this character so compelling. Thumbs up from me.
Same here.
To sum it up, I'm Chainsaw.
I'm Dave.
We'll see you at the movies.
Okay.
Let's go, people. I found him at Winchell's.
Yeah. We all chipped in. Hey, jelly. I'm touched.
This one was in the parking lot with a surfboard.
This is so humiliating.
Pam. You know, I grew up surfing those same waves. Today was phenomenal. 3 to 4, breaking out of the south, glassy, light offshore breeze. You had to go for the ditch.
Thanks. You're very spiritual.
But the rest of you clowns...
Hey, I gotta say something. This whole thing is a joke. There's a very valid reason for summer vacation. The human brain needs rest.
Yeah. I mean, what are we doing here?
Really?
Yeah. Hey, look, this wasn't my idea. I know you guys aren't exactly fired up about English, and I wouldn't know what to do if you were. But we're stuck here. We're trapped, like rats. But you got any ideas?
Why don't we take some field trips?
Can we do that?
Sure, yeah, I got permission slips right here.
Okay, take these home. Have your mom or dad sign them. As soon as I get them back, I'll see what I can do. Done. Good.
Was an utter disappointment. I was hoping for a headache or pounding temples, a blackout, anything, but, you know, I feel fine. Actually, my headache is gone. Thumbs down.
Dave, I'm surprised. I found the screwdriver simply delightful. Fast corners, that third loop was a nice surprise. The line moved fast.
Theo, is he okay?
No, Anna Maria, it appears that he's vomiting. That's a sure sign of a good ride. Thumbs up. Beaker, what did you eat?
While Alan pukes his brains out from going on a roller coaster, it's off to a petting zoo, which is a bit more educational, especially for Anna Maria, who learns a little bit more about Texas Chainsaw Massacre and horror movie makeup.
Well, Tour 69, get out of here!
Oh, wait.
You ripped my t-shirt.
Oh, I can sew that.
It's not necessary. Go away.
Nothing's necessary. I want to.
Great, I'll let you.
Get him off! Killer bunnies! Bunnies from hell! So God! I gotta get him out! Get away from me!
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you
very, very much.
What is this? It's a lie.
We did this for you, Anna Maria. How'd you like it?
It's disgusting. Ugh. I love it. Wow. What is that?
Oh, it's foam latex. Keep it.
Ugh. You guys.
Next field trip, it's gotta be at the beach.
You gotta see Anna Maria in a bikini. It's very important.
I understand.
That was cruel.
That was,
You okay?
Huh?
The boys do indeed see Anna Maria in a bikini, and almost more before Denise stopped her. Also, that song playing was the Fabulous Thunderbirds' My Babe, playing during the montage. Well, the field trip party soon comes to an end when Alan's grandmother rats out the class to the vice principal because her grandson came home nauseous and full of goat hair. Phil reads Shoop the riot act and suspends him. But Shoop bargains with him to be a better teacher. Phil laughs at him, but says if he can get everyone in class to pass the skills test at the end of the year, he'll forget about the non-sanctioned field trips. Shoop the next day comes in with a new attitude and wearing a suit. The students are, of course, skeptical, as you can imagine.
Morning, class.
Oh, baby. Hey, Mr. Shoop, what's with the threads, man? Are you getting married?
No, must be laundry day. Nothing else was clean, right?
Are you going to a funeral?
Could we come?
Please take your seats.
Where should we take him?
Sit down, Francis. From this moment forth, you people eat English, sleep English, you are English.
Oh, then pass the crumpets, old boy.
I'm not kidding around. Anyone not interested in passing that exam can leave right now.
The guy's been pretty cool.
He called me Francis. Hasta luego, Placido Domingo.
Chainsaw. Dave, wait a minute. Look. Gills is having a cow about her field trips. Unless you guys all pass that test, my job is Memorex. Anybody got any ideas here?
Get yourself some one ads.
Look, I don't care what your files say. You guys are not that dumb.
Well, actually, Mr. Shoop, those files are usually right on the money.
You all feel that way?
I do.
I may as well go home.
Mr. Shoop, look, we don't want you to lose your job. Think about what you're asking.
You want us to study?
The thought did cross my mind.
Well, what's in it for us? What do we get out of it?
Literacy? Oh, I'm sorry. I got that's. I'd like to help. What can I do?
Give me your car.
And your house.
And your dog.
See ya.
Wait, Mr. Shoop, wait. There's room here to negotiate. What if you granted each one of us one wish?
What do you mean? Wish?
You know, like a favor? I mean, does anybody need anything?
I need somebody to work out with in case I get back on the team.
I could use a little mouse coach. I need some driving lessons. That.
Okay, there's two of us. Therefore, we get two. All right. One, a party, your house, 4th of July weekend.
In Anna Maria's honor. Number 2, you arrange a screening in class of the greatest movie ever made, the 1973 Tobey Hooper classic, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Now, that is also in Anna Maria's honor.
Thank you.
Now, is there anything that you desire?
Oh, I don't deserve a wish. I don't take the test anyway.
God, she is so honest. We'll take hers. Chauffeur service for Dave and I every day to and from work.
Pam, what's your wish?
I'll tell Mr. Shoup when the time is right.
Oh. Larry? Larry, what do you want? He wants a bed. As for myself, I just want to be invited to the party.
We'll see.
Good enough. I think these are fair and reasonable requests. In return, we'll show up, we'll pay attention, and we'll even do a little homework. Is this contract acceptable to labor?
No doubt.
Yeah. Does management agree?
You sure I'm management?
For our purposes here, yes. Do we have a binding agreement?
We got something.
All right, well, we put that baby to bed. Let's do lunch. I always wanted to see. Well, go ahead and teach.
Right. Teach.
The problem is Shoup never got past the part of convincing the class. He pleads with Robin to help him figure out a lesson plan for the class. She agrees to help him over the weekend to figure out how to help each student uniquely. Shoup's first lesson is to get the class to write a paper of their choice. It could be to seek compensation for broken products, as in the case of Chainsaw. The students are doing their part. Now it's time for Shoup to do his. First, he practices football with Kevin. By the way, if you didn't know, Mark Harmon played quarterback for UCLA for 2 seasons in the early 1970s. Shoup goes to Lamaze classes with Rhonda. But the biggest challenge, and a threat to his safety, is driving lessons with Denise.
Okay, Denise, slide over. Oh, no.
Is this some kind of sick, twisted joke?
Nope. Combining Denise's driving lesson with your ride to the beach. Come on, get in.
We took driver training with Denise. Call us a cab.
Get your grizzly butts in the car.
Man, let me drive. I'm going for my license next week.
Chainsaw, you've been drinking.
No, it's cough medicine. Check out this phlegm.
Save the phlegm. You're not driving anywhere.
I'll tell you something, and this is fact. You know why so many drunk drivers get in wrecks? Because they don't learn to drive drunk.
Fact. Alcohol kills brain cells. You lose one more, you're a talking monkey. Come on, get in. Come on. Okay, Denise, start her up. Signal left. Pull on out.
Can I call my folks and say I won't be home? Ever?
I'm not used to this car.
Make it safe. Move it out. Nice and smooth. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Good. Why'd you do that?
Car was coming.
Oh, well, it'll happen from time to time. Come on, Denise. You won't bother us.
We just got lapped by an old lady with a walker.
You see that space between those two cars?
Yeah.
Pull it.
You mean parallel park? Shoot, that's my weak spot.
Listen to her.
Okay.
I'm sober now.
That's good for today. We live.
So many great lines, but my favorite is, of course, we just got lapped by an old lady with a walker. I still use that often when someone's driving too slow. Next is the 4th of July party at Shoup's house on the beach. It's a rager, as you can imagine, but then it goes to the next level with the fireworks from Chainsaw and Dave. But Shoup has another problem, as Pam is starting to get a little too comfortable around him.
You all right?
Yeah. Come on in. Just resting up. Too much fun.
It's all sewn.
Hey, thanks. It's great.
I feel so at home here.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. The Grunion are running tonight. In the dead of night, under a full moon, thousands of horny little fish swim hundreds of miles to ball their brains out in the sand. So romantic. You ever do that with one of your students?
No. I swim hundreds of miles. I'm ready for a nap.
Who's that?
Oh, it's Kim. She's sort of my girlfriend.
Sorta.
Well, she's in Hawaii.
So, you're all alone, and you like young girls.
Kim's not that young. She's 21.
I'm 16, and you should consider that. Because there's, like, no difference between 21 and 16 now. But when she's 66, I'll only be 61.
And I'll be 75, and it won't matter anyway.
Yeah.
Come on, Pam. Time for more fun. Wonderbutt!
My fish!
How many were there?
One.
Poor fishy.
So the fireworks end up being set off in the house, and Shoop's couch catches on fire. It's eventually put out by a fire extinguisher, but the couch is toast. Party is over, and Shoop is incredibly pissed. So if you notice on Shoop's left hand, you can see that he injured one of his fingers, and it appears to have been smashed. This occurred when Mark Harmon had to actually put out the fire on the couch during the party scene that grew quickly out of control. Anyway, to make matters worse, the next day, Chainsaw and Dave get picked up for being drunk in public, and they're minors to boot. Now, Shoop just happens to be roller skating by the incident when the cops stop him because the boys said that he was their teacher. Shoop covers for them, but then is taken into custody for providing booze to minors, even though he really didn't. To make matters worse, he's shirtless, in shorts, wearing roller skates. It's not a great look for jail. Thankfully, Robin bails Shoop out of jail before she heads out for a weekend trip with Phil. All right, there's 40 minutes left and plenty of comedy remains. Will Shoop actually get his class to pass? Does he even stand a chance with Robin? Can he deter Pam's dangerous crush on him? We also learn more about Larry and why he's always asleep in class, along with why Denise struggles in school. Plus, there's an amazing parody of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is definitely one of the highlights. So, if you haven't seen this fun gem from the 80s, I think check it out. It won't win any awards, but who cares about awards, right? This is pure entertainment, which is what movies should be for. But first, let's hear the class reaction to seeing Texas Chainsaw Massacre for the first time.
You scream so well. Oh, don't be a wuss. Shut up.
Run.
Larry, wake up. You're missing this.
Larry's not missing a thing.
I'm asleep. Oh, no. That's not a real person. It's a stunt man. Okay, now this right here isn't gonna bother him because he's insane, okay?
Good Lord. What are you watching?
Do the dance for me, baby!
New film from the district. Safe use of power tools. Special delivery. I don't want to know what this is, do I?
No, probably not.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think of that, Anna Maria?
God, it was really American.
American, yes, it's an American masterpiece. It's talk about gutsy endings. The girl gets away, and our hero Leatherface, he chainsaws his own legs. 2 thumbs up.
Make that 4 for gore.
And lastly, always have a tension breaker before taking tests.
Tension breaker had to be done.
Anybody else?
All right, some fun facts. The crazy Texas Chainsaw Massacre recreation scene in the classroom was actually filmed on Halloween Day. And famous special effects designer Rick Baker did all the makeup and props for the scene. Though not uncommon, Carl Reiner said there were 6.5 hours of additional footage that didn't make the final cut. The character of Larry, which was sort of based on screenwriter Jeff Franklin when he was much younger, because he had dated an older woman and then stay out all night, and then he'd be sleeping during class. And if you've seen Summer School, you'll know that Larry's situation is a tad different, but not completely. So Danny Elfman was the main composer for the score music in the film, along with an original song that plays during the end credits called Happy. His band Oingo Boingo actually performed this song, but due to contractual reasons, the band wasn't credited, just Elfman was. The same school in this movie was used for the filming of the original Karate Kid from 1984, along with Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. The amusement park scenes were filmed at Knott's Berry Farm in Los Angeles. In the scenes where Shoop teaches his students how to write a complaint letter, some of the lyrics to James Brown's song, Poppy's Got a Brand New Bag, are visible on the blackboard at the front of the classroom. The reason is it was left over from a deleted scene in which Shoop diagrams and sings the song for the class. In another deleted scene, Shoop receives a free shipment of hair care products due to a complaint letter written by one of the students. During the classroom scene just before Shoop's courthouse appearance, these products can be seen spread out over the desks, with some of the students testing them out on their classmates' hair. This is the reason Larry's hairstyle is different in this scene than in the remainder of the film. Now, I'm not sure if he used hair care products on this interview, but we have a special guest, Stephen Michael from the Grown Up Rock podcast, who joins me to discuss, I would say, this kind of fun comedy classic from the 80s. How does he feel about it? Well, let's find out now. And then I'll return next week to talk about yet another random movie from my DVD collection. Okay, welcome back, and we're going to hold him, we're going to have him do an extra semester of summer school, and that is Stephen Michael from the Grown Up Rock podcast. Well, first I got to ask, did you ever have to go to summer school as a kid?
I knew this was going to be a question. Yeah. And by the way, for the remainder of this show, please refer to me as Jigsaw, not Chainsaw. Jigsaw. No.
So you're from Saw? From Saw?
I guess. Yeah. That's the only thing I could think of. I don't know if there's any catchphrases from this movie, so I couldn't really necessarily open up with one that stuck to my head. But yeah, I came super close my junior year in high school, but in the end, I pulled it out. I skipped so much school in my junior year in high school. I honestly thought that I was going to end up in summer school that year, and I didn't. So, no, I never went to summer school, luckily.
Well, that's good. That's good. So you finished your 4 years and you got the hell out.
Just smart enough to skate through my 4 years of high school, just dumb enough to rock most of my junior year away.
So if you can recall, what were some of your favorite teachers growing up?
I had a few over the years, most of them in high school. I had a really good art teacher my sophomore year in high school. And, I don't remember his name, but he was responsible for art, and he was also responsible for the yearbook staff. And I was on yearbook staff that year, my sophomore year in high school. And I had a really good teacher my freshman year. He was a science teacher, and he was this old guy. His name was Mr. Robinson, and he was super positive, like all the time, man. He always had a smile on his face. He was just a no bullshit kind of guy, and he was a really good teacher at the time, at least from what I recollect, So there's a couple that stood out.
If you were going to be a teacher, even if it was a fun class like music, history appreciation or something like that, how would you go about giving your lessons? Would you be like Shoop, or would you do something completely different?
Man, that's a hard question. That's a loaded question because I have no idea what kids think these days.
Well, that's true.
I don't know how you teach a kid these days, but I don't, I think that I'm a person that would teach through real life experience. I can't see myself holding true to some book. I don't believe that that's a very good way to teach, So I think you gotta teach with what you know. That's the way I would go for it. I would picture myself as more of the Jack Black character in School of Rock.
Yep. Who wasn't a teacher at all. He was a fraud, but that's why it was fun.
There you go. I make the perfect teacher right there.
Well, it's fun. I'm glad you brought that up. So when I was in college, I had it was a kind of a music appreciation class, and our professor was actually an entertainment lawyer. So he had all these great stories and real life examples, and he was also probably not that much older than us. He was probably in his mid-30s. So we really liked him, and he was really kind of made it a fun class. So I think that matters.
Do you think it was the teacher or the fact that you're doing music appreciation?
Oh, it was both, absolutely. But you could have music appreciation, and if he was like kind of I had two versions. I had one that I took in junior college where it was nothing but classical music, and he was in his 60s, and he didn't believe in anything past the Baroque period. So that you could still have music appreciation and not appreciate it.
Yeah, I get that for sure.
Yeah. So going back to the film, was this a theater film or was it video and cable for the first time seeing it?
So the film came out in 1987.
Right.
So that's a weird period of time because I'm out of high school at this point, but I'm still like not quite out of the house, I think maybe in 87, or I'm just out of the house in 87. So I don't remember. I guess the long and short of it is I don't remember when I saw this flick. It had to be shortly after the time it came out, and it may have been on Blockbuster, or maybe I saw it. I don't remember.
And that was the thing back in, we always talk about this in the 70s and the 80s and even the 90s. It would take about a year for it to go on to home video and cable. So really it made, theater going kind of like a premiere event. If you want to see this film and you really want to see it, you better see it in theater because it was going to be a while before it was on cable. So it's just the whole movie viewing experience is so much different now, where I think now this type of film, most people would just watch it on streaming.
Well, yeah, this is the type of film that would premiere on Netflix these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, back then, I mean, it was even more so than what you described. I mean, yeah, it would be at least a year probably before it came out on Blockbuster Video, and then you had to pay. But even another year after that, probably before it made its way to cable.
Sure.
Maybe HBO. Maybe it would have been like the HBO Friday night premiere. Remember right. HBO? You used to have like a Friday night premiere, and it was like a movie that was not like it was a premiere of a movie that was not out of the theater for that long.
Right. It would be like a first run thing. I'll never forget because we didn't get cable until the early 90s, but my uncle had it, and he would be our go-to, he would record it off HBO for us. So like we got Back to the Future when it premiered on HBO and things like that. So that was a big deal back then. Kids don't understand what it's like. They're so spoiled with media these days.
I'll tell you what, in 87, well, maybe not 87, maybe a couple years later after that, maybe 1990 or somewhere in and around there. We found, I had a roommate at the time, and we found this, they used to have the cable boxes, right?
Oh, yeah.
These cable boxes you would rent or buy or whatever. but we found a place that sold these chips that you could open up the box and hardwire the chip in there, solder the chip, or just basically piggyback the chip onto the circuit board, and it would give you everything. It basically opened up the box to everything, to pay-per-view, to all the movie channels, to everything. So, early going, we had this jumper box. I think the statute of limitations is out on it.
You're good.
I'm good to go. But, I remember it opening it up to all the pay-per-view, to all the movie channels, to everything that was available back then. So it was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, you had to be kind of ingenious to kind of figure out the way to steal cable back then, but it was a big deal.
Yep.
So thinking of Mark Harmon now, he's definitely best known for playing the character of Gibbs on NCIS. But back in the 80s, he was just trying to make it in Hollywood, and specifically on this film. This was definitely my introduction to his work back in the day. But I did enjoy some of his other films like The Presidio and Stealing Home. Why do you think he was more successful on TV as opposed to film?
Well, I don't know. Like you said, the TV thing came much later.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And it also, for the most part, his TV thing, he had a little bit of success with some of the other things, unless I'm missing something. But NCIS was his big thing, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I think he's best known for that now.
Yeah, and sometimes it only takes one. If it's as blockbuster as that, and you have all those years and all those, you live in syndication after a certain period of time, and shoot, how many seasons did that thing go? It was forever.
Oh, it was like 15 years. But he started like in the 70s too. He was on St. Elsewhere for a long time, and he was on, there was like Chicago Hope. He was on, was it Chicago Hope or? No, it was, Chicago Hope. He was on that for a long time. So I guess maybe certain actors just make better TV people. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, he was a star football player at UCLA.
He was.
He was like a star quarterback or something back in the day. And, I was at that time, I was more into sports stars than I was probably movie stars, So that was why I knew about him or had heard about him before he even really got into like acting and stuff was his time at UCLA.
Right. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Well, interestingly enough, Harmon's co-star in this film is Kirstie Alley. She basically had a similar career path in the sense that she started on film. She was on Star Trek II and Runaway and Look Who's Talking. But of course, her most famous role was playing Rebecca on Cheers. Why do you think she was more popular on TV than film? See, and now I don't think there's a distinction between TV and film, but there used to be. Like there was a TV actor and then there was a film actor. Because then you look like at Kevin Costner. He's huge on Yellowstone, even though he's not on Yellowstone anymore. But I don't even think there's a distinction anymore. But there was back then.
Yeah, I understand exactly what you are saying. And I think even Hollywood would tell you that, right? There are people that were cut out to be movie stars and people that were cut out to be TV stars. And I think a lot of the time back then, they looked at TV stars as kind of lesser than. Right?
Exactly.
They were lesser than the movie stars. Now, it's an important part to point out that this is hot Kirstie Alley.
Yes.
Because Kirstie Alley at some point did not become hot, and she had a lot of issues. But this is hot Kirstie Alley. And didn't Kirstie Alley or didn't somebody make it a point? Away. She passed away, but somebody had made it a point. She was one of Gene's flings? Is that right?
She was in Runaway.
I think so. I think Gene made a point of pointing it out, of course, like Gene does, that he slept with Kirstie Alley or something. But I don't remember anyway.
Timeline makes sense because '84 she was in Runaway with Tom Selleck and Gene was the villain. So I guess. Would have made sense.
Also hot Kirstie back then.
That's true. So he got her in their prime. Hey, he also went out with Diana Ross and Cher in their prime. Yeah. So there you go.
That's right.
It's funny because another person, even though she's a side character, is Courtney Thorne-Smith. She's best known for Melrose Place and Ally McBeal and the one with Jim Belushi. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this was an early role for her. And then you have even deeper than that going into this. Like, I had no idea till I started doing some work for this movie that Danny Elfman did the music. And he went on to do, I mean, obviously he had Oingo Boingo, but his scores really blew up when he started doing like the Simpsons and the Tim Burton
Batman
movies. Yeah. I mean, that's when his star really rose. So I don't think at the point that he did Summer School that it was, it was a big deal for his name at the time. And then Carl Reiner directed the flick, and that's a big name, So there were some big names involved with this movie, which, I don't know. Was this movie a success or no? It was a big flop.
No, it definitely wasn't a flop. It made $35 million, so that's really not bad back in '87. It wasn't like a huge hit. It wasn't like Top Gun or movies like that, or even Fatal Attraction. I think Fatal Attraction came out in '87 too. But for a summer comedy, it did really well, and I think it did well on home video and things like that. Because I think some people of our era definitely remember Mark Harmon as Mr. Shoop.
Yeah.
You brought up a good point about Danny Elfman, because I think Oingo Boingo at this point had kind of started to phase out. And at this point, most people know Danny Elfman as more of a composer than Oingo Boingo.
Oh, for sure. He definitely made that transition. I'm positive that he makes way more money as a composer than he ever did with Oingo Boingo, for sure.
Right.
Because 100%. even Oingo Boingo in the 80s, I mean, yeah, they had some success and stuff, but they weren't a major act in the 80s. They were never, at least to my knowledge, I don't ever remember them being a headline arena type band.
No, they were probably best known for, Weird Science and things like that. So, I mean, if you were into 80s kind of like, synth pop and electronic music, you're probably way into them. But no, they weren't huge.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Carl Reiner, I'm glad you brought him up. I don't think he gets enough credit about what a genius he was. Of course, he worked with, Mel Brooks early on. He was on the Dick Van Dyke Show. But he had directed some really funny movies in the late 70s and 80s, like the Oh God movie with George Burns. And, of course, you and I talked about The Jerk. And then he also did All of Me, which was also with Steve Martin and Lily Tomlin. And then before 2 years before this, he did Summer Rental, which is kind of a fun, underrated film with John Candy. So I don't think, Carl Reiner gets enough love, about his directing skills and just acting skills, too, because he has a funny role here in the beginning.
Yeah, he's always involved with his flicks a lot, usually in the cameo type role or something super small, and then he directs and he writes. And yeah, I mean, I agree with you. They don't talk about him enough in terms of that, because he has had a ton of success with a lot of the stuff that he did in those years. And I guess he's Rob's dad, right?
Exactly. Yeah, Meathead.
Yeah. And Rob went on to do some good stuff as well.
Spinal absolutely. Tap. Yeah, Spinal like Tap, that. Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally. Yeah, he's a great director. Yeah. So part of the reason I loved this film as a kid, and I still do today, is the supporting cast of characters. Let's talk about them. I'm assuming Chainsaw and Dave are your favorites, but also give me your thoughts on the others.
Well, so when this movie first came out, I do remember seeing Chainsaw and Dave and originally thinking, okay, Dave, they're just trying to throw a Spicoli character in there,
right?
Because Dave sort of, even though he wasn't a surfer dude and he wasn't overly dumb, he was kind of a screw up, right? So
and blonde.
And blonde, and because the film itself is California based, right? It's out of the California coast there. It has all those things, but yeah, I mean, those two were great. I enjoyed them. I also, I enjoyed the geek. What is it? Ian, right?
Yes. Alan.
He was always fun. Then you had there were some good supporting people involved with that. Courtney Thorne-Smith was good, as well as the what's her name? Denise, the idiot car driver. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it definitely had some supporting roles. You had the hot exchange student in Anna Marie, right? So, yeah, there were good supporting cast members here with all this. Yeah.
By the way, Anna Marie, you'll remember her. She was in Austin Powers, and she plays a lot of vagina.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, no, I remember the role. I didn't put the two and two together, but yeah, definitely. What is it?
Fabiana. Yeah, Fabiana. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's funny because Shawnee Smith, who played the pregnant teenager, Rhonda, she ended up being in a lot of things as well, especially I think she was in a lot of the Saw movies. And I remember from Who's Harry Crumb, which was a John Candy movie. So, yeah, I think what makes this film a lot of fun are those side characters. Because without that, then this film is almost kind of like, where do you go with it without these, kind of wacky kids?
Yeah, and this type of movie lends itself to side characters, man. I mean, though it's a wide open palette, right?
Yes, exactly. So, what are some of your favorite scenes from your recent rewatch?
my recent rewatch, yeah. There's several themes. One of the things that I always go to is when I'm trying to listen out for music. So I didn't hear a bunch of soundtrack things, but going through the movie again, I did pick out Vinnie Vincent Invasion while they're at the party at Shoop's house, way back in the background. I'm like, yeah, that's Mark Slaughter's voice. Yeah, that's a Vinnie Vincent song. So I did pick that out last week when I was going through the movie. Some of the better scenes when Shoop's trying to teach what's her name, Denise, how to drive, and you got Chainsaw and Dave in the back seat, and they're like, can I call my parents and tell them I'm never going to be home ever?
I'm never coming home ever. Yeah, it's the boss. Yeah,
that, and then the staging of the horrific just slaughter in the classroom. I mean, that was really well done. Some of that stuff was disgusting. Like I can't even show my wife that movie simply because the disgustingness in some of that footage. So effects well done. I don't know who the effects guy was on this movie, but that's pretty good and pretty fun for them probably to be able to do a scene like that and just a comedy,
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people remember that scene the most. Like that, I remember that's my go-to as well.
Yeah. So there's definitely some good flicks. A lot of the interaction between Shoop and the idiot principal is good. Mm-hmm. Some of those scenes are good as well. Some of the back and forth between those guys. How about you?
Oh, definitely the Chainsaw Massacre scene. That always cracks me up. I love the dog. I love Wonder Mutt. I just think it's such a funny thing. And when he loses his toy, you're kind of heartbreaking. You're kind of heartbroken about it. And there is a nice payoff at the end if you watch it towards the end that the dog gets his thing. But I always just appreciated how kind of fun. I didn't really care about obviously you're invested. You want the kids to do well. But it's more like what are the little vignettes that are going to happen with each character. And I thought they gave each character like a nice enough amount of time so they each kind of got their own little thing. Like not only is Denise not a great driver, but you find out she has a learning disability and things like that. So, I thought for a 90-minute movie, they really did have some character development.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. None of the characters, I don't think, well, maybe Chainsaw and Dave slightly, but none of the characters I didn't think were over the top. Like all their, whatever was that character was about was kind of subtle, so to speak. The scene with the sleeping guy at the strip club performing. Yes. That was fun. That's a great scene, right?
Yeah.
With the chicks going crazy. And I did sort of gravitate towards the remark that the kid makes where he basically says, look, if you knew what I knew when you were 17, and how often do we think about stuff like that as adults? Like if I only knew when I was 17 what I know today, like would I do things differently? And the answer is probably maybe, on some of that stuff for sure. You start to realize as you get older, what's really important? Like, what do you really need in life? You know? And so, yeah, I would kind of do things maybe a little differently if I knew then.
Well, even Shoop kind of looks at him and was like, yeah, I can't really argue with that.
Yeah, well, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, I got to get this because you've been on the road a lot. Back in your past life, you were on the road a lot. What is your worst like driving experience? Because I thought when I see the driver's ed thing, you know, as bad as Denise is, Chainsaw is even worse when he starts to take over. Like being with someone else driving, what was kind of your worst horrific driving experience?
Well, I don't know about nailing it as far as being with somebody else that's driving, but I definitely have driving stories, especially as you mentioned, all my time on the road as a tour manager and as a roadie and things like that in the early years. All of that wasn't done on a bus. A lot of it was done in a van and a trailer.
Right.
And so I got numerous stories with vans and trailers on the road. I got stories of box trucks breaking down and me having to sleep on stacks of amplifiers. Yeah. I have stories of, I told you we're currently snowed in Atlanta as we record this. Well, I had to drive a van and a trailer full of equipment from California to the East Coast. And it was during the winter. And so passing through Tupelo, Mississippi, the home of Elvis Presley, I had to go down this highway that was basically iced over. And I remember traveling down this road, pulling a trailer and a 18-wheeler coming sort of almost up next to me in the other lane, and then looking in the rearview mirror and watching his trailer jackknife and come behind me. It was like in slow motion.
Right.
I was like, holy shit, you know, like I can't tell you, that was like a Keystone Cop moment for a while. So I definitely have had some interesting situations. Luckily, nothing devastating or deadly. I have put a trailer and a van in a ditch before on a iced over highway. Sure. So I have done things like that. But like I said, I'm still here to tell about them.
Well, we're glad about that. And it is funny how it can go either way. There's usually no middle ground. You usually hear people saying, oh, it happened so fast, or it happened in slow motion. Isn't it kind of weird how certain, I wouldn't call them traumatic, but certain, you know, memorable incidents, it's one or the other. It's never in the middle.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, because the road can be a treacherous thing, and people, I don't think they often realize how crazy and treacherous it can be. And, you know, people have lost their lives out there. Bands have lost lives and band members because the road is a dangerous place.
Absolutely. And there are probably more deaths from car accidents just because you're on the road more than you are flying. So.
That's right. And the car is, you know, flying is much safer than driving the car down the highway, ain't it?
Yeah, statistically. Yeah, absolutely. So you would recommend this film, Summer School, and how you know, often would you revisit it?
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth watching, especially if you're, you know, just perusing through Tubi or Netflix. And in fact, that's where I watched it, was on Tubi probably a few weeks back. It was out there for you to watch, but it's definitely worth watching it. Was it as good now at my age than it was when I first saw it? I'd say probably not, but that doesn't make it bad. It just means maybe it didn't age quite as well. I still enjoyed it.
I would say compared to newer movies, I would say this holds up way better. Because newer movies are terrible.
We just don't get flicks like this anymore. Maybe that's just us getting older, you know, I don't know. But
well, it's true in Hollywood not investing in movies like this, even though it isn't a big budget film.
Yeah, and but again, I would say this is the perfect type of flick to be released on Netflix today. Sure. Totally. This is a perfect 2025 movie on Netflix today, or on Amazon, I guess. And I've seen some good Amazon and Netflix movies released nowadays because, the interesting thing is a lot of the big movie screen actors like, what's his name?
Oh, The Rock.
The Rock or Adam Sandler.
Sure. Oh, Sandler's got an exclusive. Yeah.
Yeah, they have contracts with Netflix and put out new stuff. So it is interesting the way things are going nowadays. They have what you would consider big movie releases that aren't being released in the movies at all. They're being released on Netflix.
On Netflix, absolutely. And I think of a good example of maybe the equivalent of summer school would be. Did you ever see the movie Metal Lords that was on Netflix?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of a high school fun movie. It's if you're a hard rock fan, it's right up your alley. But that is something that, I think that's the equivalent of a summer school in 2022.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. So, I would recommend this movie. Is the end result is, if you haven't seen Summer School, and Summer School is a pretty common name, and I think there's probably other flicks out there called Summer School, but you got to look up Summer School 87.
Yep,
Summer
or
School
Mark Harmon. Yep. Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned Tubi. Tubi's super popular right now because it's funny how, everyone was going to cable at one point because they wanted no commercials, and then they went to streaming, and now streaming has commercials, and you're still paying for it. It's come full circle. People just want free stuff, even if it has commercials, kind of like old broadcast TV, and Tubi's doing extremely well right now.
Yeah, it is interesting. I was commenting my wife how the life of a commercial has really come a long ways, because you had commercials early on, and that was how marketing agencies pushed whatever product they were trying to push. Mm-hmm. And then with the invention of TiVo and things like that, you were able to skip through the commercials. Mm-hmm. And then you basically were able to go to streaming services that had no commercials, and you were able to get subscriptions to the Max and the Netflix and all this stuff that had no commercials. And now we're back to it where you got commercials, you can't, and they're holding you hostage. You can't skip through them.
Nope.
It's part of it. And then they're even making it because they want you. Honestly, the streaming services benefit from you taking their commercial plan, that they don't want you to get the no commercial plan, but they do have them available. But now it's like really expensive to get the no. It's not just like a couple of bucks more. Now it's like night and day. So basically, and then the other thing that I noticed was, yeah, we have commercials on this Netflix plan, but it's not so bad. And you only get them once at the beginning, and once maybe in the middle, and once at the end. But the thing about it is, and the thing they don't tell you about, is that they can increase that or decrease it anytime they want.
Sure.
So if they need their revenue up, now what wasn't so bad for a 30-minute show is bad because you're getting commercials every 5 minutes.
That's right. And so a lot of people cut the cord from cable, but now they're canceling the stream. So they're just looking for stuff. They're like, whatever, we're not going to pay for it. And if we have to go with commercials again, it's fine, because I don't think you're getting great, super awesome content with Netflix and Amazon Prime anymore. So might as well just go to Tubi and watch old stuff.
Yeah, now what it's about is them hooking you with a series.
Oh, sure.
And you have to see it.
Yeah.
And it's a pain. One of the other things that really is a pain in the ass, and we're venturing so far from what this is, but the bottom line is like they have series like you love. Yellowstone's a perfect example. Like, let's say you're a huge Yellowstone fan. So used to be you could watch Yellowstone and get everything on Peacock. Well, now you can't get everything on Peacock. You had to go to Paramount Plus. Well, now you can't even go to Paramount Plus because it's on the Paramount Network.
Right.
So it's like, what the hell? Same for South Park. Everything was on. They did a deal. Comedy Central did a deal with Max, and all the South Park was on Max. But then they turned around and did a deal with Paramount Plus. Yeah. And so now you got like movies on Paramount Plus, the series on Max, and it's a mess. It is a mess.
It is, and it's almost like these places, I know they're trying to get, different revenue streams and whatnot, but it's like they're cutting off their nose to spite their face. Like, after a while, people are just like, screw this. I don't care how much I want to see it. It's not worth it.
So in the end, what we've learned from all this, Brian, is that you get rid of TV altogether, get your AC/DC vinyl out, put it on your stereo, and rock out with a drink in your hand.
I mean, with the exception of the drink, yeah, absolutely. That's what I've been doing for my entire life. This is why I have DVDs. Talk about going on a tangent, but I own the DVDs not just because I want them all the time and I like collecting things, but I don't want them to be edited. There's times when not only are they tough to find sometimes on streaming, but they'll edit them if they don't fit the narrative of today's environment. And I don't want that. I want exactly how it was presented back in the day. I can handle it. And the only way you can get that is if you own it. And so that's part of the reason I own things.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. I don't have the storage space for all the DVDs. Sure. I do have a rack of DVDs, but that's about it. And I did occasionally, what I do is like at Christmas time, I'll put a documentary or something on my Christmas list. So this year I was tired of never being able to find it because it's on sometimes and you can find it and it's not on sometimes and you can't find it. I get tired of it. So I had my wife pick me up Rush Beyond the Lighted Stage.
Oh, which is great.
Which is just a fantastic documentary, but I want to be able to watch it whenever I want.
Sure. Or, like, have you ever seen the Tom Petty documentary, Running Down a Dream by Peter Bogdanovich?
That's the one that's like 3.5 hours, right?
It's amazing. It's basically 4 hours, but if you watch it on streaming because of the commercials, it ends up being like 6 hours. So it's just easier to own it.
It's fantastic. My favorite documentaries from that type stuff. The Tom Petty one is great. I absolutely love the Eagles one.
Yep.
I love the Rush one, and in fact, both the Beyond the Lighted Stage is good, but so is Time Stands Still is really good, which basically covers their final tour, and it's really good because it has a lot of backstage footage and it's not just all concert. Like, I don't like documentaries that are all concert. It's fine if it's a concert video and that's what you buy, but I like the behind the scenes stuff. I like the extra stuff. That's what I enjoy, because otherwise I can just go to YouTube and watch a concert video, right?
100%. Absolutely. Well, Stephen, we've gone off a tangent, but that's okay. See, this is what good teachers do. They get you to be creative and talk about other things. So I appreciate you doing this.
I appreciate doing it. The question is how much of this is going to make it to the cutting room floor? I don't know, because we went off on a super big tangent there, but do your magic, Brian. I know you will.
Thank you, Stephen. If you enjoy this podcast and are an iTunes user, please do the show a favor and head on over to the official iTunes page for Damn Good Movie Memories. Be sure to leave a rating and a review. This will allow the show to appear higher in the algorithm and spread the joy of this podcast to the masses. If you are not an iTunes user, you can still listen and subscribe on Podbean at damngoodmoviememories.podbean.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook under our Damn Good Movie Memories page. You can also listen to a limited number of episodes on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and be sure to tune in next week for an all-new episode of Damn Good Movie Memories.